It's so weird watching black people get mad at white people for starting functioning white communities.
First of all, no one's mad. Not one of us is mad. We're actually very happy for you.
Like, you know how happy we'd be to see black people start a functioning black community? Like, we would leave you to it. We would be, oh my goodness, good for you guys.
You're a liar. Y'all have literally never left us alone. But let's get to the point of, but you would be happy if black people created their own functional communities, which is also false. And I think you know that. From the Reconstruction period to Jim Crow, well into the 1920s, black people built free and independent towns. Yet instead of being left alone, those towns were deliberately targeted. They were destroyed, they were burned down, they were bombed, and many of the residents were unalived as a result. Their property and wealth was confiscated from them. And 100 years later, the members of that community still have not received any sort of healing and reconciliation to atone for the sins committed upon them by the white residents and by the white legislators and police officers. White supremacist violence was not just tolerated, it was heavily encouraged. Fast forward to my hometown of Philadelphia to 1985, where city officials dropped an explosive device on American soil, on Americans, at a row house in North Philadelphia because it was occupied by a Black liberation movement, which resulted in a fire that spread to over 2 city blocks, destroying dozens of homes, displacing hundreds of people in a predominantly Black neighborhood. 11 people were unalived, half of them were children. And still to this day, 30 years plus later, no one has been held accountable. And those are just 2 examples. There are hundreds of examples that there have been deliberate efforts to systematically oppress Black success and upward mobility. Whenever and wherever Black people have built independent economies, educational networks, businesses for both safety and autonomy, they have deliberately been attacked. Because historically, right, let's just go on the facts, Black success has oftentimes been met with white sabotage.
Being Black and upper class has in no way been a persecution for me. It has, however, been a front row seat to a kind of white rage that affects everyone, no matter what social, racial category you slot into in society. This rage flies under the radar, it's made invisible, it's been around for a long time, it runs on the same economic, political playbook that it has since the end of the Civil War, and it's hurting all of you. All of you. Unless you're Jeff Bezos. But that's not you.
Dear white people, no one is asking you to apologize for your ancestors. We're asking you to dismantle the systems of oppression they built that you maintain and benefit from. Now the question becomes, do you understand how you maintain and benefit from these systems of oppression? You know, this reminds me of a meme I used to love. It said that particular people do not want to be blamed for their ancestors' actions, but they sure as hell don't want to let go what their ancestors left for them. If you inherit a business and you believe the profits is the only thing you taking on and you ain't taking on none of the debt, it's kind of crazy. Do you understand how trust and distribution of wealth and how we pass things from generation to generation? I don't understand why this concept is so hard to grasp. In closing though, nobody blaming you for nothing. We just think it's your responsibility to help us deconstruct the systems that you maintain and benefit from. Amen. Education is elevation.
When white folks say Black people didn't earn it, we all know that's just projection. 95% of Trump's cabinet is completely incompetent, unqualified white people. In America, the good old boy network is often more the reality than merit-based hiring. This is a perfect example of why DEI exists in the first place. Because in America, obviously, inequality, discrimination, and white racism is off the charts. And it always has been. These are facts, folks. So when they say merit-based hiring, you. A perfect example. Obama, as a Black man, had to be literally perfect in every possible way imaginable to get elected. He was a highly educated lawyer, a genuine family man, literally 0 scandals, experienced in government, who was a true unifier that possessed integrity, moral character, ethics, eloquence, intelligence, and carried himself with dignity, respect, and he honored the office. With Trump, there's too many amoral, inhumane things to list, so I'll just touch on a few. Trump, as a white man, was elected despite being the most divisive, corrupt, immature, lying, manipulative, deceitful, treasonous, fascist, and criminal person to ever run for the presidency. Not to mention who is a proven sexual predator and an openly racist person. My point is this: black folks in America need more than just merits and qualifications to get into positions in many white-run establishments. Not only do they have to be perfect, they need establishments and institutions that do not discriminate, which is why in a white supremacist nation, DEI is critical to help with equality and justice. But now the term DEI and DEI higher is being recoined as the new N-word for many far-right racists like our current administration. Important initiatives like CRT and words like woke have been distorted and demonized by far-right extremists in order to destroy racial progress and justice.
At this point, when you have two kids that can't agree on anything, they always constantly bickering and fighting and arguing, what do we normally do? You separate them. Segregation might be the best way, might be the best course of action at this point. Camilla was sitting by himself under the tent. Not by himself, but with others, of course. Conveniently, the white boys came out from another tent. Eyewitnesses corroborate this. They do. Come over to the tent, tell him to leave. They start jumping on him, punching him, all that stuff. Put out a knife, poked him. Life goes on, people. It goes on. To those of you who are on the inside, that are my color, you go on over there. Stay there. Don't try to come back. We don't want you.
Coming to terms with how anti-black the world is has been very, very odd. Well, how anti-black American the world is. Let me be specific. Like, we literally get smoked from all angles. You know, me just expressing my point of view, giving a perspective, the same as anybody else. My race is automatically attacked. My culture is automatically attacked. My lineage is automatically attacked. My complexion has gotten attacked. My hair texture is attacked. The way I dress is attacked. Like, there literally are people pretending to pick cotton as a dig. It's utterly disgusting, you know, and responding to people, meeting them where they are. It's like we're just automatically supposed to turn the other cheek and always take the fucking high road. Like, what is that? The world is so used to beating us down. I just saw this African woman going on a rant about how much she just hates black Americans, and she lives in America. Like, ma'am, do you not understand that civil rights laws are primarily one of the reasons why you're able to successfully migrate here and set up shop and create a life for yourself? Like, it's just mind-boggling. I did not know that it was like this. And starting my journey on social media has been crazy, even with TikTok. Like, literally, me responding to racist comments, my comments get flagged. I have to appeal comments, yet the racism just easily bleeds through. It's so crazy. It kind of feels like being on an island alone. Spread love, it's your Brooklyn way. It's the Brooklyn way. My hair is crazy, but it's flying all over the place.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. Now, black people, they are the most targeted people in America. We have seen how black Americans, they have suffered for years. No other races in America, it has suffered like black people. Black Americans, they have really suffered, and up to date, majority of black people, they are still suffering in America. You have seen how the kind of racism that black people, they have been going through in America. You have seen the kind of oppression, the kind of less opportunity. We have seen how the black schools, they have been treated in America. And also, we know that the MAGA people, they went ahead and voted against their own interests so that they can punish black people and these other races. Now, for us to understand all the struggle and the challenges which it is happening to the black people in America, I want you to watch this video till the end, then I'll be back with more comment. All credits goes to the original creator of the video. I'm your host, Dash Lifestyle. Kindly remember to give a video a thumbs up, and we are here to learn. This video, it is only for educational purposes.
You know, a white person said something to me the other day that shocked me. Not really, but it kind of did, coming from this individual, because they were actually being honest. Usually all they do is gaslight and bullshit, but they actually had a breakdown and had an honest moment. When we were talking about race in America, she said, I don't think black people deserve equality and justice because they could never get enough. And I realized, for the first time I've ever talked to this person about race, she was actually being brutally honest. And I also realized this is the psyche of white America. Not all, but for the majority. Most of white America have always been scared of black and brown folks getting justice, getting equality, getting what's fair, because they want to hold and cling on to white supremacy so dearly, that system that protects their privilege, that dominant hierarchy position of whiteness. That being said, I'm going to say something, and I want you to let it set. I just want you to sit with it. Let it settle into your consciousness. Just let it set with you for a while before you get into your feelings, into your denial, into your ignorance, into your delusion racially. Just let it set and listen. Until we fix white supremacy, everything we do as a nation will fail. Why does America keep voting against its own self-interest? Why do we continue to do things that undermine our very well-being? White supremacy is the living, festering cancer, devouring our nation from the inside out. It's the toxic force behind every backward policy. The exact reason we're so stunned and shamefully far behind other developed nations. White supremacy, the very thing white America claims to despise, yet simultaneously denies, gaslights about, actively avoids, and utterly ignores, all while perpetrating racism. The reason this country keeps voting against its own damn self-interest, the reason we consistently shoot ourselves in the foot, is brutally simple. Pure terrified fear of a black and brown nation. Fact. This isn't new. This isn't just about today. This is history's cruelest loop.
What up, Nurse Gang? What up, TikTok? So this needs to be said. Just want to come through the quick word really quick now. Disclaimer. If you don't like what a creator is posting on their platform, unfollow. You know, but you guys have this, you want to argue with people and go back and forth with them on their page. It's insanity to me, because I just block you. I've learned how to protect my peace a long time ago. I'm not going back and forth with nobody on my own page. You can go to your own page and talk about whatever you like. It's free for all of us. So that's there. But so I posted the video of, you know, the immigration thing that happened today. And I guess me saying that nurses should not try to obstruct justice and end up getting arrested trying to interfere with ICE, a process that you cannot stop. The government has decided they got $179 billion to deport people. This is a process you can't stop, and you should not interfere. And 5 seconds of interfering, they still arrest the person. You get arrested as well. Your career in life is ruined for what? A process you couldn't stop. So people are upset about that. But whatever. People want to be outraged about immigration because it's a moment in time, and this was being shoved down their throat on social media. But people had the audacity to come to my Instagram and say, oh, but when it was Black Lives Matter, you guys wanted us to stand with you. I'm going to need y'all to stop using that, because I'm going to tell you something right now. Black people are the most oppressed people in this country, and we have been for years. This fear that the immigrants are living in of going outside. Imagine being a black woman in America and what comes across your screen, thousands of black women missing and no one's investigating it. Imagine being a black woman in America and you wake up in the middle of the night and across the screen is Breonna Taylor's face. She got shot in her sleep, right? And the cops dilly-dally and get off. Oh, Sandra Bland choked to death in her jail cell, right? Seeing things like Trayvon Martin and you're scared, young man shot in his back just for being black. killed, and you have a black son in America constantly in fear from being a small little girl in America, sitting in class, watching stuff like Roots, being traumatized from young, watching how we were enslaved, then watching, civil rights movement actions. Listen, no one lives in fear. When this fear you guys have is ours every day. Fear that your son is going to be driving and get pulled over by the cops and get killed. You know what I mean? Or as even a woman, that you're going to get shot, you're going to get kidnapped, and no one's going to talk about it. They say, oh, they're kidnapping people. Yeah, there's plenty of black women who are out there who are missing, kidnapped. No one cares. So we have been in fear and traumatized since the beginning of time. Oh, they're enslaving them. What about Juneteenth? What about they have people down there in Galveston, Texas, still slaves when they have been free for a very long time? Like, we're the most oppressed. And then let's not get into what goes on in nursing. We're oppressed. Got to get doctorates just to get mid-level jobs. Got to be overachievers, constantly harassed. Like, it's everywhere. It's in the education. Systemic racism isn't everywhere. It's the banks. It's the constantly. And who is that directed towards? Immigrants or blacks? So you guys always want black people to be so outraged by everything when this is the fear. We live this every day. We live this every day. So don't ever fix your mouth. Just because you guys, like I said, what you see on social media, it was, the George Floyd thing made big headlines, but this has been happening to plenty of black men. This is something that black people live in fear of every day. All different entities, all different types of discrimination. And you guys are seeing a small glimpse of what's happening to immigrants. And I said, I ain't saying it's right. And I'm not saying they should be doing it. And I'm saying, they're putting them in prison wrongfully. How many black men have been wrongfully in prison? They do 30 years of their life, and then they find out they shouldn't have been in there. This is something that we've been living. Do you guys understand that? You're outraged because you're seeing clips on social media now, what's going on with immigrants. But this is something that we live. And y'all have the nerve to fix your face and say, black people should be, when we were standing up for you guys for Black Lives Matter. You haven't went through what we went through in this country. You didn't have water hoses sprayed on you because you just were trying to sit in a diner and eat. So please don't ever disrespect me by coming to my page, ever comparing what the Black American experience is like compared to anyone else in this country. And I stand on that. And if you don't like it and you don't want to hear it, you can get off my page because I stand on that. Please don't try to put us in that box. We are the most oppressed people in this country, and we have been more than any population. That's it.
Hey family, did I tell y'all about the conversation I had with this African woman from West Africa? And she and I were talking, and I said, you know what? I know that you all are taught in your country to not like black people, stay away from black people in America, black Americans, because you're told that we are lazy, that we are shiftless, that our men don't work, that our women are nothing but baby makers. And she looked at me in surprise. And I said, listen, let's have a real conversation. It's okay. And she said, you're right. They do tell us that. They tell us to only, if you come to America, be around white folk. Don't be around black Americans. And I said, you know what? This is the same conversation I had with another friend of mine who happens to be from Nigeria. And then I remember also having this same type of conversation with a friend of mine who is from where is she from? South Korea. South Korea. And so I realized, guess what, y'all? The world teaches their people to hate black Americans. But you notice that we don't teach, us black Americans are not taught to hate others. And that is why, black people are always going to rise to the top. So when chaos happens, just like it's happening in the world today, with Trump, with the immigrant situation, we black Americans are going to be okay. Because we don't have the hatred and vitriol in our hearts. Now, I'm not saying that all black people, nothing's a monolith. And yeah, we got some outliers out there. But for the most part, the hate, the lies, the vitriol that other cultures and races have towards black people, we don't have towards anybody. And that is why we have been able to be blessed, and our generations have been blessed. And we have risen up from the ashes. And that's why we are now doctors, lawyers, astronauts, multimillionaires, hell, billionaires. So people, let them hate. We're going to continue to grow.
White people need to talk more about race with their family and community. I know that this sounds counterintuitive because your feed is probably filled with white people talking about race when it is obviously an issue that affects people of color. But the problem is that it's perpetuated in white families in ways that they do not realize. I am trying to call out the racism that is either explicit or implicit among white circles. People act racist a lot of the time behind closed doors, which is something that I, as a white person, see a lot. It doesn't matter if I'm in Chicago, if I'm in rural California, if I'm in rural places, generally speaking, white people are racist in the US. And sometimes in ways that they don't even realize. So my goal with my content is to see this, to report on it, to encourage white people to evaluate critically what that means. Although it might seem like I'm trying to take away voices of people of color, I am not. I'm not trying to speak on the effects of racism or anything like that. I'm trying to talk about how it's systemic and encourage other white people to evaluate their biases, because I understand this because of the environment I was raised in, which is very conservative.
I think the real reason that white people, well, some white people get upset or like don't understand when they see black people in spaces that they're in, or black people in positions of authority or advancing and things like that, the reason that they relate it to like, well, it must be like you're getting something that you're not qualified for, like it is racism, but there's another underlying part of that, and it really boils down to the fact that they can't fathom a reality where you advance in life, where you get a position, where you move up at all without stealing something or stepping on somebody or exploiting somebody. They can't, in their brain, they don't have any recall within their collective history of any time period where they've been able to build without stealing or massacring or doing something to somebody else. So like when they see another group of people, whether that be black people or POC, in positions that they feel like, well, no, that's my position. And when they see them, they think that, well, you couldn't have got it any other way besides taking it from somebody and like stealing it. There's no way you actually worked for it, because in their history and present day, they don't have, even within the country itself, standing up the United States, they don't have any like precedent of like existing, like moving up, like building without taking something from somebody, without stealing. Like they have no creativity in their mind. Well, not even creativity, they have no recall, and lack the imagination to imagine that being a possibility. So when they see a black person or a POC in spaces and things like that, it's got to be the DEI thing, even though it don't make sense. That's the only thing they have in their brain. It's like the only way you able to make it, the only way I know you make it in this world is by stealing stuff and like, you know, exploiting and like taking things away from people that belong to them. Big things, and that's it. That's all they got. So yeah, it's the racism, of course, but it's also, there's another part of that psychologically where they just don't have the recall. There's no precedent set yet, and they refuse, I don't know, to set a precedent where they can, you know, advance, evolve without exploiting or stealing from other people.
Is a couple of years back, I was all dressed up with black and white cousins. We're all dressed up. There's a good group of us, maybe 12, and we're going to the symphony. This symphony is it's manned by tons of volunteers, right? People who want to help you, people who are excited to see young people come to the symphony. And we get there and I've got my 8 or 9 tickets all connected. And this older white woman, member of my community, is doing the scanning. I can tell from the get-go, she doesn't really want to help me. She's peeved. And I'm thinking, why? I've got this huge group of people coming in. Like, this is a win for the local community symphony. So she scans all my tickets, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She gets to the 8th or 9th one. I don't remember how many exactly we had. It doesn't beep. Now, mind you, I had to pick up these tickets at will call with an ID, with my name. And she knows this because she's a volunteer before I come to her. She scans the last ticket that has the symphony's name on it. I mean, it's got all the official stuff. And she explodes with this quiet anger and this total frustration. Like, she's just like, she knew it. She knew I was a thief. And she loudly, in front of everybody, accuses me basically of stealing a ticket and attaching it to the legitimate tickets, which is how you should do crime. Now, that's a ridiculous thing. We sorted it out. We found out that yes, while she was following the rules as to what to do if, I guess, a thief comes and attaches a fake ticket to a bunch of real tickets, she did not know how to use her scanner properly. But instead of having customer service, instead of thinking about how one should approach this, she responded with the anger that was already inside of her. She'd already assumed and knew that this kind of place was not for people like us. And she didn't want to have to let us in. And if she could get us out on a technicality, on a quiet rule, and she threw up her hands, I can't help you, I can't do anything, she would. That is a very tiny, low stakes example of the work Carol Anderson, as a historian, has done in looking at the documented and demonstrated examples of rulemaking and code making that certain people in higher classes have used to quietly make sure that lower class whites and Black people with wealth cannot get ahead.
At this point, when you have two kids that can't agree on anything, they always constantly bickering and fighting and arguing, what do we normally do? You separate them. Segregation might be the best way, might be the best course of action at this point. Camilla was sitting by himself under the tent. Not by himself, but with others, of course. Conveniently, the white boys came out from another tent. Eyewitnesses corroborate this. They do. Come over to the tent, tell him to leave. They start jumping on him, punching him, all that stuff. Put out a knife, poked him. Life goes on, people. It goes on. To those of you who are on the inside that are my color, you go on over there. Stay there. Don't try to come back. We don't want you. And in truth, white folk really don't either, truthfully. They don't really trust. One thing I can say about them that I kind of like is they don't trust turncoats. Their own people and you. And to you Hispanics that think you this, you stay over there too. Let's just separate. I mean, fuck it. Why not? I'm cool with it. It's just hilarious to me that when I saw the posts that them two twins made, showing guns and shit like that, flashing guns, I wish a monkey would show up at this track meet, flashing a little Glock with a little light on it and shit, and another little small AR pistol. That's so funny that y'all tell us not to make it about race, but you do all the time. All the time. Y'all made this about race. So guess what we're doing? Following suit. So just like you stand with your folk, which is what you're supposed to do, nobody faults y'all for that. Nobody. Stand your ground. Do that. We're going to stand with our people too. Period. You publicly display your unity. I'm publicly, and we are publicly displaying ours. You get my point? Just don't fuck with us. Leave us the fuck alone. We don't want to be around y'all no fucking way. We don't. We want to be left alone. And when you find yourself nosy and trying to find out what we're doing, and you want to be around and find out, oh, what are the blacks over here doing? What are they doing over there? Don't worry about it. Mind your own boring ass business, okay?
So guys, I hope you have watched that video, and also guys, you can share your thoughts on the comment section. Tell me, what do you feel about the topic of today, how black people they are treated in America. You can also share your experience. If you're a black person living in America, you can share your experience so that we can learn and we can know what it is happening to our fellow black people in America. So you have seen some of the challenges and the struggle that the black Americans they are going through. Whenever black people they are trying to rise in America, these other races will try so hard also to bring black people down. We all know that the MAGA people, the Republicans, they went ahead and voted against their own interests just to punish black people. Simply because Donald Trump, he wants to make America to be a white country only. He doesn't want to see black people in America. That is one of the challenges and the struggle that right now majority of black people they are going through. So we have seen how ICE it is raiding the homes of the black people. They are targeting black people. They want right now, if a black person you have just got yourself into a small mistake, you can also maybe be deported back to your country, because what ICE they are doing, it is these people they have been given instruction. These people they don't want to see sorry guys, these people they don't want to see black people, and right now also these other races, they are being affected. So we have seen how the criminal justice, it is dealing with black people. Whenever black people, he or she has been caught in a small mistake, he can not work for free. Black person cannot work out for free, but for a white person, he might work out for free. We have seen the kind of racism that black people that are going through in America. We have seen the kind of we have seen the kind of opportunity, the less opportunity that black people they are being given in America. And also, guys, I have some of the comments here. I want to share with you some of the comments from our fellow black people. They have come out and shared their thoughts on the comment section. So I want you to, I just want to read for you this comment, and also we see how majority of them they are saying. The struggle that was intended for us and watched by the globe more perpetuated is over. We are separating ourselves for good. We are a sovereign people invaded and directed internationally away from our truth. Yeah. So right now, guys, I can for sure tell you that black people, we are now coming together. For years, we have been seeing how these people some of the things that they've been doing to us in America, not only America, also in our black countries. So right now, black people, we are coming together and we are uniting. There is no such thing as fair segregation in America. So you have seen there is no such thing as fair segregation in America. Nothing lasts forever, all in time. Their greed is never satisfied. So for me, I can tell you that nothing it is last. So all the challenges and the struggle that the black people that are facing, they're going through, it will end. Yeah, nothing is last. So these people, they need to know that some of the things that they're doing to us, it will also bounce and will be back to them. So I am blaming them because they want to uphold it. Give us our $14 trillion in reparation and keep it moving. So black people that have been asking for their reparation for years. So this one is saying that black people, we need $14 trillion. You can imagine how much money is that. $14 trillion to pay black reparation. So black people, for real, they need to be given their reparation because of some of the challenges and the struggle that they are going through. Because during the colonization period, we have seen during the slave period, we have seen some of the families who are broken. Some people that are having slavery scars. Some people that are having some slavery memories. So all these people, they need to pay them because of the damages that they did to them. Cut the check. I don't wanna hear no apologies. We FBA, they did have no problem with Ukraine receiving billions of dollars. They didn't have no problem with all these low-level migrants receiving billions of dollars. I don't see you calling none of them beggars. It's only towards black Americans that you got problem with. Yeah, so these people, they went ahead and paid Ukraine receiving billions of dollars. And yet, whenever black people, they are coming out and asking whenever the black Americans, they are asking for reparation, these people, they are saying that black people, they are begging. They don't have a problem giving out money from Ukraine. But for when it comes to pay black people, they are saying black people, they are beggars. No, that one, they need to pay black Americans reparation. They need to pay, and it is a must. It is not something that black people, they are requesting. No, it is black people, they are requesting it, and you need to pay it. It is not, they are not giving you a choice of should I pay or should I not pay. No, you need to pay that money. And that's why I've been telling you, when it comes to black person, everything, these people, they see as black people, they are not deserving. But for others, they are being given. Anyone notice the movement project 2025 took off is the moment when the disaster did a full 360 and go to Wasa everywhere. God is tired of his people suffering, being killed, mocked. From the moment we learn about the Bible, our ancestors held on to faith. We thrived, we keep going no matter what was thrown at us. It is our time. So right now, this one is saying it is now the right time for us black people. What in the Paula Dean True Tale Black Lady cooked for? That one is saying something else. Like my grandma said, Mr. White, tell God bless you. That sister who said that white people had no recall in their history of people progressing without taking it fame. Someone else is a very good point. I had never thought of that, but it rings true for me. Very factual, informative, and educational comment. So let me just read for you the last one. Cause the truth is what going to happen, folks. Judah, Indian of Africa, non-Hamitic, heir to America Foundation. Americans and North American Indians. God continue Africa diaspora who need to be focused on their homeland will be affected without report. Other nations diaspora too. Yes, this is the end has been a while for colonizers. So this one is saying it is now the time for colonizers to end all these things which they are doing to the black people. People woke up to let me not speak it, Mr. White Man. That's what I am talking about. I agree with the separation. I have no need of anyone unless they can save me or make me rich. I like those pork tamales anyway. So let me just read for you. My issue with US is that we don't stick together. I am from Vegas, and for all the homeless people we have here, have never seen a homeless Latino ever. I can walk past another black woman and speak shell, turn her nose up at me. Now I live in KC, and the black woman are kick each other down so bad. It's nuts. We have got to do better, ladies. So this one is saying also us black people, we need to come together because so many of black people on the street, they are homeless. So compared with these other races, you can imagine. Also, our biggest problem is us black people not coming together and support each other. So if we'll come together and support each other, these people, they will see us and they will take us as they will take serious whatever some of the issues that we will be raising in America. So kindly guys, thank you so much. Subscribe if you haven't, like this video, share, and also comment. See you in my next one. Bye bye.